Hey guys, it's Stef Z again, talking how to get away with murder. We got episode 5 today. Man, what an insane episode. First off, just a little recap. The way that I'm going to try and do this is stay on topic by topic. Sometimes it won't go in the absolute order of how it happens in the show because it always does flash back and forth. And I really love, a lot of you guys have been tweeting me. A lot of you have been leaving comments. I love them, so please keep them coming. But this episode, we start out with Laurel in the hospital. And we find out last episode that she's in the hospital because she's pregnant. Now, I don't know. At the end of last episode, I was saying that I believe that Laurel's pregnant by either Wes or Frank, which I still do believe. Now, the question that I start right away with is when Bonnie steps aside to make a phone call, who is she calling? Is she calling Annalise or is she calling Frank? That's what I thought in the beginning. But as we see things progress with Bonnie and Frank, I more so believe she's calling Annalise. And I think she's calling Annalise because Annalise clearly at the end or towards the end of the episode loses respect, whatever you want to call it, in Bonnie because the beans that Annalise know that Bonnie has seen Frank. So maybe Bonnie's trying to build up that trust in Annalise and saying she's pregnant and that she really doesn't know by who. I don't know, maybe Bonnie does know by who. Does Frank tell her? I don't know. There's so much going on. And again, Laurel seems to be at it right now. So we definitely see Laurel's pregnant. Again, I want to know who you guys think it is. Is it, I mean, I don't know. There's a weird thing in my mind saying that it could be Connor too. I know that's probably crazy. I don't know. Maybe they could have hooked up one night. I don't know. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But it went through my head, so I want to tell you guys in case something crazy is going through your head. I want to know, and then we can all figure this out together. So, yeah, I want to know who Bonnie is talking to. And then we have Annalise, and we've got flashbacks, flash forwards, a lot of them happening. And a lot of the flashbacks and flash forwards really coincide that Annalise and Frank have this relationship. Clearly, we know now that Sam got Annalise to represent him. We know that Frank probably was one of the first people that knew Annalise was pregnant because when she sees him, she throws up in the trash can. We know that a lot's going on. We know that there's this bond from Frank. We also know that they're both having disturbing dreams about their past. Now, it would really blow my mind if this whole time Annalise and Frank have been in communication and she's really pulling one over on everyone else, but I'm not sure that that's right. Like, I'm not sure that that's right. I don't know. It's just, I would find it very, very hard to believe, but you never know with this show. You never know with this show. And again, this show is done so well. The fact that they are still flashing back and it all makes sense and it's entertaining and intriguing, and every episode it really does just leave you hanging on. And it really excites me. It makes me look forward to every Thursday so that we can watch and find out, again, who's alive. Now, this week we find out that Michaela is still alive, and we find out in a weird way because Oliver wants to call Connor. And again, Oliver didn't think to call Connor right away when it happened to make sure he was okay. Not when at the hospital to make sure he was okay. He only thought to call Connor after Laurel's pregnancy was revealed. So that's why somewhere weird in my head, I think that, I don't know, do they get drunk, Connor and Laurel? Does Connor fall back into the guy that he was in the beginning and sleep, like have a drunken sleep with? I don't know. But that's who he calls. And, you can't find Connor's phone, so I don't know, maybe they're trying to make us think that Connor's in the house. But we do get a big reveal with the house that it is a man. And again, they've kind of went through all the important women, except Eve. So the whole thing about it maybe being Eve under the sheet is wrong. So that is ruled out now. We do know that the news reported that it was a man. So who we got? We got either Wes, Frank, Connor, or Asher, pretty much. I don't think it's going to be the new guy, Simon, who we'll get into. What is his deal? Of course, there's got to be a backstory, but we're going to see one of the 4 major guys who that is. Well, I just mentioned Simon. Let's stay on Simon. We find out that Simon is the one who has been hanging up the killer signs of Annalise. Now, I feel like this plot is going to thicken. I don't think it's as easy as it's a new kid. He feels out of the loop. There's something else going on. I think that there's some thicker plot that Simon is going to wind up knowing somebody, and that somebody's going to know something. Like it can't just be that cut and dry. So if you guys have any theories on where Simon came from, why he's the one doing it, let me know, because I'm really curious. I haven't exactly sorted out what I think is there, but like I said, with this episode, there's always, it's like onions everywhere just being peeled off. So I don't think it's as simple as he's just doing it because is he related to the president? I don't know. There's something going on there that I feel like we are going to be involved with, and that we're going to find out. All right, now let's go back to Bonnie and Frank, because that's a huge thing. For a while, I feel like a lot of us, myself included, and a lot of you guys out there, have speculated that Frank and Bonnie have a history, that they could have been together. Now, from what I get, my theory is that Frank and Bonnie at one point in time were for sure together. Something broke them up. They've been trying to be okay, but clearly there's an underlying love, and Frank clearly screwed up. So, like, it was clear to me that Frank was trying to get Bonnie back. Now, if he was trying to get Bonnie back so that he was safe, I don't know if his heart really meant what he was saying about that him and Bonnie should run away, make a family, they'd have 2 kids. But you could tell that Bonnie's heart was really there. So Frank did something to break Bonnie's heart. Now, how they've both been operating in Annalise's house, like last season when Bonnie and Asher were together, Frank and Laurel are together, and they're not really that affected by it. And you see them on the stairs at the end of last season and having these conversations where they're clearly affected and there's clearly a deeper bond, but not affected in a way that I would think 2 exes would be affected. Either that or they're in so deep with everything that happened that they're just pushing through. But we do see that, they do hook up. It was a very intense, passionate sexual scene. So for me, it wasn't just like a sloppy hookup like you see some of these. It was a very passionate, filmed scenario. So I feel like that just was showing that there is such a past there. But then you see Bonnie sticking up for him and sticking up for him and sticking up for him, and then he bounces. So again, what really is going on? Is Frank really and Annalise really together in a bigger plot of everything? I don't know. My mind is blowing. I can't wait to see what happens there. And on Frank, we realized that Frank was in jail. He killed his father. To me, he seems very unstable. But for some reason, Sam was doing a family favor, and that's what's probably going to wind up getting Frank out. I feel like it's really apparent that he has a lot deeper issues and maybe he shouldn't be out. But Sam wants to be the guy who does a good favor for his family and wants his wife to be, the star and get Frank off when he's coming up with parole. So I applaud him for trying, but in the same sense, I feel like sometimes some people are just really not meant to be out amongst others. And we do see Sam and Annalise, and we see that Annalise helped Frank, Sam helped Bonnie, and that was like the moment because of this bond between Bonnie and Frank. Sometimes we thought related, but that was a moment actually that defined for me that that the question of Frank and Bonnie wasn't a sibling or relative relation, because they would have known that. They would have known that way back in the day, that they were related because of the fact that they both helped them out in a different way. And then, you see when Frank and Bonnie are together, after Bonnie goes to the, funeral home to see her dad, and clearly it was her dad that was abusing her. So she said her goodbyes. She said cremated him. She didn't want anything to do with him. She was okay with the fact that Frank killed him. And she walks out of the funeral home and sees Frank. They embrace in a hug that again shows there's a bond there. So I'm really curious to see where that shakes out. And then pretty much that's Frank. So Frank's back in a big way. Curious to see how and where that goes. We've got Annalise, where she's kind of losing her mind again. She's drinking, not drinking. She tries to go to an AA meeting. Just so happens that she sees the president at the AA meeting. The president, later in the episode, tries to bond with her and say that everybody needs a friend. It's clear that Annalise doesn't like help. She doesn't want anybody's help. She doesn't think she needs anybody's help. I think one day she will break down. She does somewhat break down and is comfortable around Wes to break down and for him to be there for her, but she's not ready for anyone else to be there for her. And there's just really powerful scenes. There was really powerful flashbacks in this episode. For me, it was the most powerful flashbacks we've seen yet. And there was a lot of really just powerful scenes, like, you know, Annalise dancing with the wine bottle, holding the wine bottle, like loving it and holding it like it's a lover dancing around. It was pretty intense because that's what happens, I guess, when somebody has a problem. They have that love affair with, you know, alcohol, and it clearly takes over. So, I mean, Annalise is still drinking. Wes comes over, saves the day. We mentioned that Simon was the one posting the pictures up. Annalise saw the president at AA meeting. Who knows if she'll go back to the AA meeting? You know, there's a lot that goes into this. I really want to see how Oliver gets more involved too, because you see that Oliver hacked Simon's computer after Michaela stole it, and Michaela went off on Simon, which was amazing. But Oliver is there at the end, and he's there first. So what does Oliver know, or what knowledge or what situation does Oliver get into in order to be in the position that he is at the end? I'm really excited to find that out. We're going to find out a lot in these next episodes. So pretty much that's, you know, what for me happened in this episode. I want to know from you guys though, if there's anything else that sticks out. You know, the other thing we didn't mention yet was Nate, and Nate's still sleeping pretty much with Annalise's nemesis lawyer, which I don't know. Nate still seems soft. Like, I feel like he is so gonna cave and try and help Annalise again. Like, I don't think he's done with her, and I don't think that he's gonna ever really plot against her. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's finally had enough, but I'm pretty sure that he's still like wrapped around Annalise's little finger, even though he's sleeping with her, you know, biggest rivalry. We're gonna have to see what happens there. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think. If I had to guess right now, which one of the four guys out of Nate, oh, I guess Nate's another guy that could be under the sheet. But if it was out of Frank, Connor, Wes, Asher, and Nate, I really don't think it's gonna be Nate. Who else was in the house with Laurel? Might be Wes, might be Frank, might be Connor. I think I'm narrowing it down to those three, to Wes, Connor, and Nate. No, I think it's going to be Wes, Connor, or Frank. I don't think it's going to be Nate, because I don't think that when they say they're going to kill off one of the main characters, like Nate's the main character, but I feel like it's going to be one of the other ones. I keep like thinking Connor because I know he's doing that other show, but I mean, I guess Asher is, you know, does another show too. Like, if you're trying to think about all the different aspects of it, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. And this show is good enough to wait and see. So let me know what you guys think. You guys can either tweet me at IAMSTEFZ. Leave some comments here. I'd love to hear from you. And can't wait until Thursday. Have a great day.